Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle prop from CZT Lianne Woods. This is another grid pattern. And yes, of course, it is another amazing tangle. This one too, I'm going to draw a little border around the outside. And this one has a lot of opportunity to create, to, when you decorate and all of that kind of thing. Let me move. Apologize. Try to do these all in one take because I like, yeah, there we go. Just for my own sense of genuineness. Because there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle, and trying to hold true to that in my videos. So again, it's a grid pattern. I'm just going to do a 4 square. When you're doing filling a section or whatever you're doing, you can make the grid obviously as as big or as small as you want, even using it just as 1 square and spreading those around. So that's an option as well. All right, once you have your grid in the center or close to it, we're going to put another square. And I will tell you, this is forgiving, so no panicking. I know I did for a minute. Like that one looks a little bit rectangular. But don't worry about it. Just go with it, right? No such thing as a mistake. Then, and this one is so lovely because it is so really so simple. Then we're going to draw curve lines. Now, I want to point out, when you look at this will be the Tangle Patterns link under for more inspiration in the description section. She kind of has the curve line here is more of an angle, and I share that I only want to point that out because you get to decide what kind of a curved line you want to have. I was trying to copy that in my step outs, but I'm just going to draw a regular old curve line. Oh, and okay, and so I moved ahead a little bit too far. All right, we're going to go just start doing. So in your box, starting from the rightmost corner, curve line to the right corner of the grid. Now this is I went ahead and I jumped a step, so I apologize. So you can do this a number of ways. You can do curve line here, do the 1 step in all of the boxes. You can do both. Let's see, in her step out, she did combine those. In mine, I separated them just so you could see what's going on, because sometimes I find myself having to look a little bit too often. It's like, wait, what did they do here if they put too many steps in at once? And this is, being that this is an easy step, I understand why. But at the same time, I want my step out to be clear, so that way it can be easily understood. So silly. I inevitably, see when I do this, and this is sometimes why, I missed one. Oh, look it, and then here too. So sometimes in a grid pattern like this, if there's a number of steps, and I also share this because it might work better for you or it might not. I share it so that way, if you hadn't thought about it, maybe, if you're getting frustrated at some point, maybe this will help. So sometimes I will do like this, where it's like, I'm just going to do all the steps in one box and then move over to the next box. And that works a lot of times. It depends on the tangle for me. But again, I share that so that way you, if you hadn't thought about it, there's another option. Okay, and I'm going to do that for the rest of this, so I'm going to finish this square. So what we're doing next, as I'm working ahead and not telling you. So we started on the, so looking at the grid this way, right? We started with the right corner to the right corner of the grid, right? Now we're going to do the left corner of that same side of the box, and kind of orating, but we're going to that same corner, so it's going to taper in a little bit. something else that I thought about just a minute ago was, ooh, one could have fun with this, having the curve lines going in, like you could have some going this direction and some going the opposite direction. You know how when you look at, so this does look like a prop, but you know how sometimes if you watch movies and they're showing, planes with their propellers, sometimes it looks like, especially if they have like 4 engines, sometimes they look like they're going backwards, or some of them do. So that could just be something neat if you wanted to try. And just finishing these up. And honestly, this is pretty much it for the Tangle, except for however you want to decorate it. Now, when you look at for more inspiration, the Tangle Patterns link, she has there's like 3 samples on there, but the one has these just kind of separated out, and it's, like in their own box, kind of floating on the tile, and it looks really, really neat. But if you look at each individual one, there's a ton of decorating ideas. If you're like me, I sometimes I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do exactly, and so something like that will help. Let's see. I'm going to share just the one portion, because she didn't put this in the step out. And again, you don't have to do this part, but I thought I'm going to share. I'll just do it on a couple here, as a way to finish and to give it some motion. So one thing, and actually, you know what? I'm going to do it, because I did do this on my step out. We're going to do this with the sparkle. So here's also a technique. The sparkle is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to aura these sections. And I'm going to aura, so looking at it this way, I'm going to aura the right propeller, the right prop, as I go. And I'm leaving a little gap, or I'm leaving a little gap and a dot. You can leave a couple dots if you want. Just depends on how much space you have. Oops. Oh, nope, that's that. That's right, I was leaving that blank. So, there we go. And then I'm going to do that on each side. And one way to think about it, too, is we're going into this narrowest side. So this side is wider, and we're going into that narrowest side. And leaving that dot about in the same place doesn't have to be exact, as you can see. Because if you're looking for, and then you don't have to, do it all the way. You can just do it a certain portion. And in my sample, I think I did like 2 or 3 dots, because I made it, I did one prop as big as this, just because I thought, well, that would be fun to do. And I'm not being happy with those, but no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. So, but and here's why we say that, because once it's all finished, then it's like, oh, what did I think I didn't like in there? I could put maybe one right here. That helps. All right. You know what? And let me do this. I'm going to pause really quick. I'm going to do this one, and then we'll do some shading. Be right back. All right, back. All right, so just a quick idea on shading. I'm going to put some graphite in this narrowest corner here. And I'm going to do it, actually I'm going to do it on all of them, so that way then you can also see. So holding it this way, and I'm doing it like in that right corner. So where all of those lines converge, looking at this side, and then, oops, let me get down here. Then turning it. When you turn it, then it's the same corner. I love that. And this is one of, well, besides the fill-in, is a great course correction. So while I say there are no such thing as mistakes in Zentangle, there are sometimes when it's just like, well, I don't like that. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do. So I'm just going to smudge this out with the tortilla. And I'm going to be careful not to go into the prop part. And this will just help with that motion. And I also want to, I think it will do the same on these that I really didn't do anything in. And I'm not filling it out all the way. I had half thought to just fill the whole thing in with the gray. And I still can. If I don't like how that looks. And I'm using more of a pushing, you know, up and down motion than the normal circles that I do, just because it's a bit of a tight space. All right. But, oh, it says, I was saying, the course corrections. So when you're not happy with something, there are several course corrections. If you're new to my videos, I do mix them in. It's usually as I do something. But filling in is one. So if I didn't like, say, this curve, I'll just could decide I'm going to fill in all of these solid, and then you can kind of adjust the curve as you need to. As long as you're making it wider, then you're okay. Another course correction is the shading. So it's like if you're not happy with something, wait till you shade it, because sometimes just that darkening. So like I wasn't necessarily happy with how some of this was turning out, and now it's like it doesn't bother me nearly as much. I'm still not sure about the other. I think I'm just going to shade it all the way in, and I'm just using the graphite that is left on my tortillon, and actually doing it this way, it's darker in those corners. Oops. Do this a little lighter, so there we go. So it's lighter in the corner, so it will still give it some motion, even though I'm just filling it all the way in. And again, what I love about this one is it is a relatively easy tangle to do, and you have lots of decorating options to have fun with this. So if you enjoyed this, would love to have a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you as a subscriber. If you do, make sure to hit the notification bell next to the button to subscribe, so that way you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And then also a reminder in the description box. And if it's not showing up sometimes I see under the title, and then you see like my channel name. Sometimes it says show more. It might have like the first line of whatever I've put in the description box. Then it says show more, and then that will open up the rest of the box. Because I've noticed lately that they're not coming open automatically like they used to. So, and it just depends on your device too, I'm sure. So, more information there, step outs, as well as links to my page if you are interested. If you haven't done so already and want to do some live classes, would love to have you join us. I do a combination of paid and free classes, and all the information is on my website below, and also our Facebook group where we get together and we, share these tangles, because I'm doing these daily, just support each other and appreciate each other's work, and it's just a really great uplifting group, and would love to have you join us. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.